Wages, case. Case in the order of framework, econ, human rights, environment. On wages, they fail to answer this argument. It's not about they fail to answer this argument. We need to make sure that the labor surplus is low to ensure we can maintain high wages, and make sure that the employers need to give higher benefits and higher wages to employees to keep them. This creates strong consumers that don't have the tendency to be strong consumers, thus ensuring both high savings in case of economic downturn and fueling the economy on the current scale of immigration, especially as it's temporary, it's tight, the labor market is tight. But if you pass the plan, you infinitely increase the amount of people that come into the United States. You increase the labor market to 7.6 billion people that can be used for labor, which means there is so much competition now that wages just keep getting put further and further down, and as they get more and more of their modeling argument, then we get more and more of our wages disadvantaged, because as you get more modeling, there's more of the population that can travel between the two, which continually depreciates wages across the entire world. The impact is clearly laid out and unrefuted with, like, I always forget the time. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go into case. Thanks. Alright. I'm not gonna go into case just yet. Okay, so basically how this works is that if you have a lot of labor, then you have a labor surplus, which makes the supply so high, there is so much competition, wages go down. This very clearly laid out leads to diversionary war, because Trump consistently increases the amount of diversionary he does. He started out with tweets. He went to child separation, and then he's got into diversionary war, as I'm about to say. Let's go on to case. Okay. First on solvency, extend backlash argument. This makes U.S. extremely unsafe for migrants, because the far right will backlash against plan and launch attacks on migrants to try to prevent future policies to help them. On the economy, their EGAN 18 card is a huge cause. Trump's ongoing protectionism policies and trade wars will fueling the decrease in the economy, and the war plans to prevent Trump from being protectionist, which means that their impacts become inevitable. Absence for widely off base because they ignore migration costs no trillion-dollar bills. War 2014. This argument in favor of international migrant gossip, which can also calculations who can sometimes start as latitude, longitude, and as different coordinate as zero cost absence of legal restriction does not circumvent the fact that it would be very costly for billions of workers if moving costs for data that ranges EDC. The huge goal against migration becomes substantially smaller and may even vanish after taking moving costs into account. Furthermore, cost by the wages DA causes U.S. collapse of the economy, which leads to diversionary war. The more modeling they get, the more they trigger this. And second of all, there's no group their soft power arguments and how U.S. is key to international leadership. There is no soft power with Trump, because he was laughed at the UN. He has no more soft power remaining. Clearly that there's no modeling anymore for the U.S., and Canada is increasingly becoming the power that's looked at for modeling. Furthermore, they say that food production is key for preventing global war hunger, but it's not about having enough food, it's about distributing that food. And if you're like bringing all the people into one area, you're not going to be able to distribute the food, because it's going to be a much higher concentration in one area. It's a lot harder to store that much food enough for all those people, and to make sure that all the food is being distributed in that high density that we'll see there. On human rights, Trump administration failed to lead human rights, tanks U.S. credibility, only recognizing and changing their approach to solve Tyler in 18. Trump's administration, you already read that, correct? Okay. Furthermore, on human rights, the app increases structural violence. That we read the last part I read in the speech, Byler 97 says that weakened pressure to help the poor means that there's going to be more left behind, because there's less pressure on corrupt governments to do things that help the poor, which means those that are poor and have to stay behind, those that can't travel, for example, which is the part earlier was saying, and also that are like old and they can't travel because they're like their movement is hindered. They can't move, and those people are finding more. That increased structural violence a lot more. Holtwig in 11 says more about this. More of a wipe up on the local democratic issues and local social benefits, including healthcare. This will put an enormous strain on Canadian healthcare system. Policy of the open border might undermine the basis of welfare state. Will be better to help the globally poor in the country of origin. If we want to help the poor, stop opening our border will not help much. 12 seconds. On their environment, turn because nuclear war increasingly destroys the environment. This stuff in there. Status quo solves warming, cultural shifts, and decoupling, step in the law in 18. The carbon-intensive nation, cities, and industries, and individual life are varies widely because the process of learning to produce more value through climate change and decoupling the process of long way and shows no signs of announcing and astonishing happening with clean energy. It's getting cheaper, fast, and cheap enough to put on clean costs for people building new power plants, but increasing cheap enough to justify shutting down existing coal plants and other high carbon systems. As the kind of building charge fees for the electrification of the world is about to become rapidly electrified. All short systems that have been run off fossil fuel manufacturing, home heating, and more will soon run on clean energy. Demand reduction, demand for energy, and can be designed down over the urbanization and carbon consumer world, seeing stronger demand for decoupling. Furthermore, extend the Ridley Card adaptation means that warming has has no impact, no environmental predictions, and can't base policy on them. That's Coloans 2 and 15. Furthermore, extent of no solvency because solving for America alone is not enough to solve for all the other countries that are polluting a lot. Even if they get 100% solvency on America, all that does is it extends the time frame on global warming because all these other countries are still polluting.
See, that's the internal link towards the borders causing climate change is private property.
The internal link to borders causing climate change is private property,
They don't solve.
which they don't solve.